Hello everyone. Hopefully by this point you have watched Simon's video on why we fast, and this is just going to be a short follow-up for how we can fast, because we want to encourage all who join us that this day of fasting is an invitation to grow closer to God. So we want to make sure that everything we do is covered by His grace. This isn't a set of rules for you to follow, but this is, as we say, an invitation for us as a church to grow closer to Him through, as Simon said, the instruction from Jesus to fast. So there are three things we want to prepare as we come into Tuesday. And the first is that we want to prepare our spirits. Before we start actually fasting, we need to set our expectation that when we wake up on Tuesday morning, we aren't going to love fasting. We are going to be on a journey, and it is through fasting that we'll be growing closer to God. It is a rhythm that as a church we want to build up over time. And so it means this isn't a competition of who can go the longest without eating, and it isn't a machine where we put in a fast and we get out loads of spiritual blessings. But fasting is about humbling ourselves before God and getting in touch with our hunger for Him. So secondly, after preparing our spirits, we want to prepare what it is that we are going to be sacrificing when we fast. We're going to be giving up food, and so we need to be aware of what that is going to do to our body. Our top recommendation for you for the day is to stay hydrated. Drink plenty of fluids. And that means that for those of us like me and Simon who drink coffee or tea regularly, our bodies are going to have a natural reaction if we just cut that out. And whilst it is completely possible to not drink any caffeine at all, if you feel like this is going to be a problem for you, we'd suggest maybe think about having your caffeine drinks black without milk. It's also important for us all to recognise what the window of our fast is going to be. For those of us who are going to join us, we will recommend that you fast from dinner on Monday night until dinner on Tuesday night. That means Monday night we will eat our dinner as normal, but from after dinner we will not be eating food again until Tuesday evening. And if you are going to come join us at the Life Centre for our prayer and worship evening, we are going to break our fast together by having communion. That means there are some side notes that we want to think about. With the time that you would normally then be cooking or eating food, you have a window in which we'd strongly recommend you use to pray and to read. And that means if you have children, we aren't expecting you to include your children in this, so you might have to be a bit creative about how you do your prayer times. And especially for those of us who have health issues or where fasting might become a problem, we'd recommend talking to a doctor or seeking medical advice beforehand to work out whether you actually can fast. And if not, again, there's an opportunity for you to be creative in what it is you give up for this window. Again, we remember that all of this is an invitation to go closer to God. This isn't about what we do, but it is about who we are coming to when we do this. And so finally, having prepared our spirit, having prepared what it is we are going to sacrifice, the third thing we need to prepare is prepare to struggle. Fasting isn't just a physical practice, but it is spiritual. And so as we step into it, we can expect some resistance. See, if you're not used to fasting, your body is going to protest. That means that headaches or dizziness and even nausea can be expected. But they're also a place where the enemy will want to whisper in our ears that this is an excuse to give up your fast. This isn't really worth it. But our encouragement is don't listen to this temptation. Instead, let the hunger pains draw you closer to God rather than push you away from Him. We're going to post one more video right before we do our fast with some scripture for you to dwell on throughout the day, and especially in meal times where it's going to be hardest for your body to be used to not eating. So if you can, we would recommend getting out, go on a walk, focus your mind on the act of praying. We know that fasting isn't going to be easy, but it is going to be absolutely worth it, and it is going to draw us closer to God. So as a church, let's prepare our spirits, let's prepare our sacrifice, and let's prepare for the struggle that it will be, knowing that we are growing closer to God. We look forward to joining with you on Tuesday evening. God bless.